Welcome to the Expect Success Podcast, a presentation of GeorgeBollick.com with your host, George Bollick. This podcast is for all things personal development. Don't expect success, prepare for it. Please welcome your host, George Bollick.
Welcome to Expect Success at GeorgeBollick.com. Now, in addition to listening to our podcast, you can also view the video format on YouTube at GeorgeTube.com. Brian Tracy has consulted more than 1,000 companies and addressed more than 5 million people in 5,000 talks and seminars throughout the U.S., Canada, and 70 other countries worldwide. As a keynote speaker and seminar leader, he's addressed more than 250,000 people each year. Today, Brian's going to tell us about his 3 favorite personal development books for financial success. I might add they just happen to be 3 of my personal favorites as well. Anyway, listen to Brian.
One of the best habits that you can develop is the habit of continuous learning. The most successful people, including Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, all praise the importance of reading as a way to decompress, to learn, and to keep the mind sharp. Lifelong learning is a powerful asset to have. Leaders who think they know everything are bound to fall victim to that hubris or pride of accomplishment, where they don't accomplish anything. Reading allows you to explore new insights, new genres, new history, and new joys. In addition to writing 5 books a year, I also read more than 50 books myself. I read as much as I possibly can. I read on flights to the different countries that I speak in. Much of my free time is dedicated to reading all that I can get my hands on. Reading has had a direct impact on my success, personally and financially. Here are my 3 favorite books on financial success that you should read immediately. First, Unshakable, Financial Freedom Playbook by Tony Robbins. In this book, Tony Robbins created a step-by-step playbook to transform your financial life and accelerate your financial freedom. Anyone can benefit from this book, no matter your salary or stage in life. This book provides the tools to help you. The second book is The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. The Automatic Millionaire teaches you about paying yourself first. You have to have a plan that pays you automatically to secure your future. It's unique in the fact that you don't need a budget or willpower or to make a lot of money in order to become wealthy over time. In 1 hour, you can set up a plan that makes you rich automatically. The third book is Rule Number 1 Investing by my friend Phil Town. Rule Number 1 is one of the best investing books that I've recommended multiple times. Phil Town is a personal friend of mine and a self-made millionaire. In his book, he teaches you the basic principles that made him a millionaire, starting from nothing. These are the same principles that the greatest investors in the world, investors like Warren Buffett, use to invest. In this book, Phil teaches you how to take control of your own money and how to beat the stock market time and time again. Phil's book is a start-to-finish, one-step-at-a-time approach that will let you retire 10 years sooner than you planned. Finally, I have to recommend my book, $1 Million Habits. Fully 95% of what people think, feel, and do is determined by their habits. Habits are ingrained but not unchangeable. Habits are ingrained but not unchangeable. New positive habits can be learned to replace worn-out, ineffective practices with optimal behaviors that can cause dramatic, immediate benefits to your bottom line. In $1 Million Habits, I teach you how to develop the habits of successful men and women so you too can think more effectively, make better decisions, and ultimately double or triple your income. This book teaches you how to organize your finances, increase your health and vitality, sustain loving relationships, build financial independence, and take a leadership role to turn visions into reality. It's a different take on financial freedom through the development and practice of good habits.
That's awesome. Now, for more from Brian Tracy, simply search YouTube and be sure to check out his website, briantracy.com. Sign up for his free newsletter. The books Brian recommends: Unshakable by Tony Robbins, Automatic Millionaire by David Bach, Rule Number 1 by Phil Town and Brian's book, $1 Million Habits. They can all be found at Brian's website and or Amazon.com. And I'll include a link in the show notes. And remember, as the late great Jim Rohn used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today I've been hanging out with Brian Tracy. Keep up the momentum. Subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss another episode. We'll catch you on the next show, and thanks a million for listening. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Expect Success Podcast with your host, George Bolling. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please rate, subscribe, and review. And find more great content online at georgebolling.com and on Facebook and Twitter at George Bolling. We'll catch you next time. And remember, don't just expect success, prepare for it.